Things are looking up for the Husker football team as Matt Rhule clinches his first win of the season against Northern Illinois in front of a packed home crowd. Starting quarterback job up for debate and key losses at the running back position due to injury. How will Nebraska build on the momentum? We recap the game with our special guest, former Nebraska linebacker and assistant coach Barrett Ruud. We also catch up on recruiting with Sean Callahan and even take a look at the program nation-leading sellout streak. All that and more coming up next on Big Red Wrap. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe. Welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. The first win of the Matt Rhule era. We'll talk about that. And also the last game of the non-conference schedule. With me tonight, of course, as always, former Husker Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. 35 points. But when you look back at the game, there was a long stretch where they didn't do anything. Great offensive performance in terms of points, but not overall a great offensive performance.
Yeah, very successful first drive to get that early touchdown there to Billy Kemp. But after that, you know, the defense obviously played very, very well. Then they get the ball there at their own 5 and some miscommunication. I don't know if it was the offensive lineman thought it was a run block. What is poor pass pro, whatever it was. You get the fumble. Defense holds up very strongly, obviously holding to 3 points. And then there wasn't that much going on from there on out until later in the first half, and then obviously the third quarter, things started really clicking for the offense.
7 drives, though, inside the 40-yard line, scored touchdown all of them. I don't remember the last time I've seen, or 5 drives, excuse me. I don't know the last time I've seen something like that at Nebraska.
Yeah, it was complimentary football at its finest. I thought the third down execution is where it started. That third quarter, Nebraska executed 4 consecutive third downs, highlighted by that throw of Heinrich Haarberg to Thomas Fidone, and that kind of really got things rolling. It led to a 23-play third quarter, and when you huddle like Nebraska, 23 plays,
long time.
That's like a 40-play quarter in the no huddle era. So that really turned the game, and they held the ball for almost 12 minutes of the third quarter.
Yeah, you nailed the third down because they were one of their first 6, Nebraska was, and then 6 of the last 8, which is as good as they've done on third down in a long time. So.
Yeah, it was a 14-play drive on that scoring drive that made it 21-3. That was far and away the best drive we've seen from Nebraska all season.
Definitely had a couple runs, of course, by Heinrich Haarberg as well. With the win under our belt, there's so much to discuss. We can't do it without you, so reach out and help guide our conversation. Our call room is up and running, manned by our sports intern, Hannah. Hello, Hannah. And the students from University of Nebraska's College of Journalism. They're joining us throughout the season, enjoying some Valentino's pizza and taking your calls. You can also text or email your questions to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. We're looking at all the social media as well, so just send your questions there. Share your thoughts on our Big Red Wrap-Up accounts, and we'll answer as many of them as we can tonight. Also, don't forget to head over to our website and download your copy of the 2023 Nebraska football schedule poster. You can print those off for your home or your office and keep up to date throughout the season with all the Husker football scores. Last week, we asked you who you wanted to see at quarterback starting for the Huskers. 17% said Jeff Sims, 76% said Heinrich Haarberg, and only 7% said Chubba Purdy. Of course, you got Heinrich Haarberg just like they asked for. This week's sideline survey is a little bit different. What we're going to do is we want you to vote on the top play from Saturday's game with these 3 options. First off, Thomas Fidone's catch for the touchdown, that pop pass in the second quarter to get going with the scoring, which is I love the pop pass. It's just come off play action, you stand up, hit the tight end, it works all the time. And then you get Haarberg's touchdown run, great ball handling on this. I'm surprised the cameraman stayed with it. Haarberg scores on touchdown there on the run, and then also Javin Wright, better known as Buddha, his interception in quarter number 4. You can pick that one as well. As of right now, leading, I'm going to guess Fidone before it pops up. Let's guess. You didn't go Fidone? Let's see. 58% said Haarberg's 20-yard rushing touchdown. Wow. In quarter number 4.
We're breaking down those first 2 offensive plays in the huddle here in a little later.
Oh, that's awesome. Fidone's 16-yard touchdown catch with 27%, and Wright's interception and 12-yard return in the fourth quarter with 15%. Let your voice be heard. Head to the website now and cast your vote, and head back each week for a brand new survey. You mentioned that first drive. I talk about this a lot because I think this team has to have a lot of run after the catch. And those first 2 completions, I think there was a total of 24 yards run after catch. That's something they have to do because they don't necessarily have a top off the defense.
Yeah, you don't have Trey Palmer anymore, right? You can't have it that can take the top off. You can kind of just throw it up there and he's going to go get it. So, yeah, you're going to have to, it's more, chunk yardage after the catch. It's the simple, dig routes, and you're not going to get a whole lot of all go verts.
Some screens.
You got to utilize your bigger targets, your bigger bodies, and catch it and see if you can get another 5-6 yards afterwards. And that's what they're going to have to do. And I think going forward, obviously with the running back situation being banged up, the quarterback's going to be more involved in the run game, even though I know they are, utilize them more. And it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to shake out for, head into the Louisiana Tech game with the running back situation.
I heard a local media personality, John Bishop, did some numbers, and he said that right now, through these first 3 games, the quarterbacks are running the ball more than Jamal Lord did in 2002. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I had no idea it was like that.
But they're averaging 17, I think, a game.
Yeah, I'd be curious how many are design runs and how many are scrambles.
Yep.
Because I do think that kind of adds a little bit more to it when they're actually called run plays. In the first game of the year, like Jeff Sims, I think he had 12 design run calls for himself in that game. And that was still, I believe, the highest number we've seen. It wasn't anywhere close to that at Colorado. And I don't believe Harburg had 12 design runs in this game. So a lot of them are scrambles and guys taking off in different things. But they've got to come up with a formula now, Michael, to get about 200 rushing yards a game. And without Ramir Johnson, without Gabe Ervin Jr., how much can you squeeze Anthony Grant for? And is Quinn Ives and Emma Johnson ready to go? And then the quarterbacks. Can you play both these guys and figure out a way to get a formula each week to get about 200 rushing yards?
Do you think that Harburg earned the right to start the Louisiana Tech game, or is it solely on the health of Jeff Sims?
I think it's still solely on the health of Jeff Sims. They said he's the starter, and they also have said a guy cannot lose his job because of injury.
Right.
But again, if he's not 100% healthy, which no one is 100% healthy at this time of the year, I don't care what you say. I think if he's ready to go, he'll play. But it is nice to know now that you've seen Harburg in a real live game situation, how he responds. He runs physical, took care of the football, made some smart decisions. I really can think of one bad throw. He tried to fit one over to Fedoni over the middle later in the second half. But other than that, was very smart with the football, did what the offense needed him to do, didn't try to do too much. So it's a very interesting comparison now between 2 games with Jeff Sims and 1 game with Hendrick Harburg. I mean, obviously the turnovers definitely stand out with Jeff Sims and how he's operating those first 2 games. But I think Hendrick he's given himself a chance. And then if he's not the guy, it's nice to know that, hey, if we still want to run Jeff Sims, if he has some injuries, we got a guy back here we can trust that knows he can get it done when it matters.
He had 2 batted passes and only 1 turnover-worthy throw that could have been intercepted. That's pretty good. You mentioned Quentin Ives, Emmett Johnson. Tell me about those guys in terms of coming out of high school and where they played, and could they be ready as true freshmen?
Well, Emmett Johnson, because of COVID in Minnesota, he didn't really have much of a junior year. So he was really unknown because of the lack of games he had as a junior. As a senior, he was the high school state player of the year, blew up. And they just kind of took a chance on him. The previous staff had a tip on him. They liked him. They needed a running back for some other guys that they had kind of fell through, and they brought him in. And, Quentin Ives was a late take by E.J. Barthel. Was probably a guy that would have, I'm guessing, followed him to UConn. Didn't have much going for him, but this is your classic Evan Cooper, Matt Rule type of recruit. A guy that has the intangibles, the measurables. He had a really good training camp. When they showed those all-access videos that they did all throughout August, there were a few moments in the scrimmage where like, ooh, Ives.
Yeah.
You could see the big picture of this guy, but obviously they were probably not expecting to have to play him more than 4 games this year, and now they're in that position.
If there's one position that you can walk in and play right away, it is kind of running back.
Yeah, you can. You see it more often, whether running back or wide receiver, I think, for the most part, but running back definitely. And we've seen it historically here with Nebraska, whether it's Marlon Lucky, Brandon Jackson, Amon Green, D'Angelo Evans, all these guys came in here and played as true freshmen. So not a huge task. Now, we'll say those guys had a lot better offensive lines to run behind, so it made it a little easier. But it's, again, the biggest thing for young players in the running back position is pass protection, picking up blitzes. I imagine Quentin Ives will not be asked to be in there on 3rd down protection. I'd probably see Anthony Grant or Emmett Johnson, but yeah, wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you have to have guys, and I wouldn't be surprised if Quentin Ives plays on Saturday.
About 1.7 yards a rush is what the defense is giving up. They were great on 3rd down again, all the way up until that final garbage time drive. What are you seeing from the defense, Sean?
Well, just number one, great depth. They're playing so many guys. 35 guys played in that game on defense. 27 guys played more than 10 snaps.
And no drop-off.
I'm not sure we've seen in the recent history a number that high where 27 guys played 10-plus snaps in a game. So he is really rotating and playing a lot of guys. They're getting a strong push at the line of scrimmage. Nash Hutmacher had 6 impactful tackles in that game.
The first half.
He's playing by far the most snaps he's played, and he looks better each and every game. Jabari Butler's presence back. And I found this interesting. They've moved Jabari Butler to defensive end. And Princewell Umanyalan is now playing the jack.
Right.
So they kind of flopped those two players, and Micaiah Bayer is now playing the jack linebacker spot as well. So there's a lot of versatility, a lot of movable parts with this scheme they're running, and they've proven that. I mean, look at John Bullock, safety, now linebacker. Look at Javin Wright, safety, now linebacker. And they've really moved a lot around to make this go.
Yeah, and you really don't see a drop-off. I remember Phelan Sanford came in, and he was playing. Dwight Boodle came in, he was playing. Of course, now he's hurt. You really don't see a drop-off when they bring the backups in.
No, you don't, and that's just the maturity of your team and your players. I think it's a good job by the coaching staff of simplifying things. So obviously it can be a lot to learn in a new defense, but they have done such a good job of just kind of paring it down and understanding the concepts, and so you're able to grasp it from the meeting room to the walkthroughs to the practice field and then into the game. So that whole process they've done is obviously has hit home starting last spring and now through fall camp and through 3 games, because you haven't seen the drop off, and we've alluded to this multiple times now through 3 shows or 4 shows, that we've seen guys we thought would never play and they're playing.
Yep.
And the guys you might see on special teams, and they're playing. And the coolest thing about it is, if you heard him Tony White say, hey, if you show us something on special teams, you show us that effort, we're going to give you a chance on defense. So that's really cool to see them, and I think that just incentivizes guys to put forth all the effort, attention to detail, do the little things right so they can get their chance to show on the field, because it's one thing to say you're going to do it, but then you don't put guys out there. But now it's like they're letting these guys play, so it helps incentivize those younger guys. Like, man, I want to play. I'm going to start doing these little things. I'm going to start paying more attention to the details so I can get out there and play as well.
Those are some dominant numbers we just had up on the screen. We knew that the starting corners were good because of how well they played last year, but the depth at corner, the depth at safety, even with some injuries, is pretty good.
Yeah, just the emergence of different players, too. Omar Brown didn't do much last year. He's now a factor on the back end. Deshaun Singleton didn't really play last year, and now he's a factor. Malcolm Hartstug has improved each week.
Yep.
The tackling has been there, too. I think teams test Hartstug a lot. They stay away from Newsome for obvious reasons, and Hartstug responded last week. He made some really good tackles in space, and Gifford is solid. I mean, you just know what you're getting in Isaac Gifford.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 5 really good guys back there. Marquise Buford could come back late in the year.
Yeah.
They talked about him playing maybe 4 games because he could potentially redshirt. So if they got him back for the final month of the year, that would be a bonus, too.
I know you play with guys like this. Malcolm Hartstug and Billy Kemper are both about 5'3". Both of those guys play as tough. Both of those guys think they're 6'4".
Yeah, like Courtney Grigsby.
Exactly.
He could jump out the gym and what they call it, the Napoleon complex.
Yep.
Brandon Rigoni.
Brandon Rigoni, great
absolutely.
call.
Yeah, there's multiple guys, and you have them everywhere.
Yeah.
But those guys are fun to play with because they're like little pit bulls down there that are always biting at your ankles, but you want them on your squad.
There's a lot of little improvements that led to the big win on Saturday. Let's take a look at the highlights from the Northern Illinois game, and we start off with one of the best highlights. In between the 3rd and 4th quarter, it was an incredible light show, including the drones up there as well. A lot of people were wondering what it was, but the drones were really incredible. Let's get to the highlights. Heinrich Haarberg came out early on his first throw and had, again, 8 yards of rack on this one. And that's what you see a lot. When you get them the ball in your playmakers' hands, they can get some extra yards. That's not what we saw with Jeff Sims.
No, we haven't. That's those first 2 games.
And the physicality by Haarberg, he likes to hit people. He really does.
Yeah, hammer the nail. He's definitely been the hammer.
Yeah, I noticed he throws a lot of sidearm. Did he play baseball in high school?
He was a baseball player.
Yeah, you can still have second base.
Came from Nashville. They moved to Kearney from Nashville when he was probably junior high age.
Yeah, look at him drop down and make that throw for the touchdown to Billy Kemp, just like he was turning the double play with that. Looks good. It works, though. And then here, you mentioned it, kind of a mess up there on the offensive line.
Yeah, miscommunication. I'd heard Ben Hart thought it might have been a run play for some reason, but yeah, it just was not clean. And just, man, tip of the hat here to the defense to hold them to 3 points to get the ball at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, you talk about, that this is 3 or 4 times now Nebraska's been put in really bad spots with their defense, and they force field goals.
Yes, this is a win.
Difference.
That's a win for the defense. This is momentum keeper. Nebraska had momentum. Now you still get to keep it. Yeah. And it's a must-have. And again, they did it in Colorado, and I also they're gonna have to keep doing it most of the year.
It did help that Rocky Lombardi just fell down. Here's Heinrich Haarberg again, running 21 carries, 98 yards. He said after the game he likes to be physical. During the game, after the game, it hurt a little bit more. And here's that pop pass I was talking about, that big target, Thomas Fidone.
Yep, just a good little action, a little power pop pass. I'll break it down the huddle here in a little bit.
That's 14-3 there. It's all about digging that play action, Linebacker comes up, you get your big guy behind it, and of course, as Jay said, he'll break that down. And then another run by Heinrich Haarberg, who all day long was putting his head down and getting in there and just taking advantage of his skill. This throw right here, right in front of his head coach.
Really
what a
good.
great play.
Third and 14 throw.
So we really got them going on third downs with that throw. It was a great throw there. And then this is another screen. I think we're gonna see more of these screens too as we go along.
I think so. They're, low risk. You can get pretty high rewarded for you, as you see there. We've finally seen this. Nebraska's trying to run this for many years, and it's always been a little sloppy, but the timing was perfect the way the blocks were set up.
Yeah, that's a perfect tunnel screen there. And then, of course, you get a little physical at the end, and Alex Book knocks the helmet off, and then you get Piper with a hit, and so they got a 15-yard penalty on that, but that's okay because Nebraska took advantage of that with, again, Heinrich Haarberg with his run, 14 yards here, being physical at the end of it. He averaged 4.7 yards a carry on the day. Pretty good with that as well. And then another handoff this time to Gabe Ervin, who they're going to miss Gabe Ervin a lot.
Yeah, I saw Gabe today on his crutches. My heart breaks because he had worked so hard to get back to this point, and just another setback for a great young man.
Yeah, and we saw him after the game. It didn't like he was that hurt, but obviously dislocated hip can be bad. We know what happened to Bo Jackson with that, so it can happen to anyone. There's Haarberg running up the middle for an 11-yard rush, and then throw here to Marcus Washington for a catch across the middle. And the offense right here, this is when I thought they started getting really physical on the ground and were wearing down Northern Illinois by this point.
Yeah, I agree. I was sitting kind of towards the northwest side of the stadium, and you could see it. He's leaning on them. Those holes just got a little bigger, and Anthony Grant was doing a good enough job of finding that space.
And this is a guy who's run that a lot, going back to high school. The ball handling is perfect. He's got the defensive end committed, and right when 97's committed right there, puts it in his belly, pulls it out of the mesh, and he uses his speed and strength. One of the fastest guys on the team as well. By the way, 96 total yards rushing in the fourth quarter for Nebraska, which is pretty incredible to think about. That's how you put some more. Javin Wright, the Buddha getting an interception there. Kind of just didn't see, I think, underneath coverage is what happened.
Finally, he had an opportunity to get his hand on a couple footballs against Colorado, and finally did a good job of getting up there and getting it down.
Another second-generation Husker right there. Gabe Ervin, we've talked a lot about today, with a really good day, but here he is getting in the open again, finishing a run really hard, and again, they're going to miss him a lot. And Heinrich Haarberg here on a nice rollout. I hope we see more of this.
It's good.
More waggle, more boot. I'd like to see a lot of that.
That's a great play. Again, low risk, can be pretty high rewarding.
This is one of the things Anthony Grant does really well in the backfield. Sometimes he'll take that quick hop to the left, little skip, made it look really good there, ends up running in for the touchdown. Now this is the garbage time, just like Nebraska did the week before against Colorado. Ethan Hampton, the pass to Dane Partridge, gets him down there near the goal line. One of the guys I worried about in the game who really didn't do much was Chris Carter, the 6'7" tight end. He does get the touchdown catch here in the back of the end zone, right at the end of the game, and then decides to go for 2 points here to make it I believe it was a scoregami for Nebraska. Never had a 35-11 before for Nebraska.
Oh, really?
Yep, never had one of those before in the history of the program, and there it is with the 2-point conversion to make it 35-11. Get the final stats now. Nebraska dominated on the ground, 224 yards to 26 yards. Also had in total yards, it was 74 yards before that last drive, the 75 yards, so 149 total. Our players of the game for Northern Illinois, Heinrich Haarberg, first start and win as a Husker quarterback, and Nash Hutmacher for his impressive performance on defense, especially in the first half. Now I'm joined by Nebraska Public Media sports intern Hannah. In social media, what did it look like this week?
All right, we have one post here from Kai. There's something about a Nebraska-born quarterback leading the Huskers. It's personal for Heinrich, and as you can see here, it's a picture of him with Osborne when he was a child.
Oh, wow. That's cool, yeah.
So we got a homegrown Husker leading the quarterback there. And then our other one's from the Nebraska State Patrol. A pre-game view from their air wing. And as you can see, we have a full house here for the first game of Rule home game.
Yeah.
The sellout streak continues.
It looks awesome. That is a great picture. And you have the fireworks happening at the same time as well.
Yes.
No doubt. Hannah, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again next week. After the break, we're joined by former Husker and assistant coach Barrett Ruud. And then we break down a couple of plays with Jay Moore in the huddle. Before we do that, though, check out scenes for Saturday's home opener in Memorial Stadium, courtesy of Hurrdat Sports.
I thought it was an amazing experience. You know, I thought it was a tremendous crowd, and I thought it was great for recruiting, obviously, but it was great for our players and hopefully great for the fans, and hopefully they liked the way we played.
Jeff's healing up and getting back to stride, but Heinrich's having a good week coming off the last game, so we're just taking it day by day and see what happens.
I play guys based upon what they do at practice, and that's how you develop players. That's how a guy like Heinrich is ready for his moment. Anthony had a great week of practice. You can see his natural ability in the games. He's it's his show now. It's time for him to go.
You come off a win and everybody's feeling good and all that stuff, but coach is always figuring out ways to make sure that everybody on the team is motivated and see that truly, right, we can get a lot better.
As hard as we're hitting people, we got to start punching the ball out. So a lot of things to work on, and that's why I like our defense, because Giff and all those guys, they're not sitting there like, Coach, come on, man, we just beat these guys this. They're like, we got to get the ball out. So that's why we have a chance to be good. Championship teams come out of teams that learn hard lessons. And so you have to learn, hey, this is what it feels like to lose. This is what it feels like to win. The margin is like this for us. So we've got to just keep erring and making the margin a little bit bigger each week by getting better.
Those are just a few comments from the coaches this week following the Northern Illinois game. Now we're pleased to be joined by former Husker, both coach and player, Barrett Root. Barrett, we appreciate it, man. How you doing?
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah. I noticed you didn't know what day of the week it was. That's when you can tell that you're having too much fun.
I always know if it's Monday through Friday because that's
Right.
school days, and I shuttle a bunch of kids around. But yeah, no, it's chaos all the time at home, for sure.
You were in the house for Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the way the defense played?
Yeah, no, so far they've had a great start to the year. I think, see them in person. The number one thing they've done is they've knocked out the running game.
Yeah.
So when you make a team one-dimensional and all of a sudden you can get them into second longs consistently, third and longs consistently, the way their defense is structured, it really caused a lot of problems because now when you get obvious pass situations, they've done a great job of being really multiple. And when you play that, that third linebacker that's also a rusher, you can drop 8 just as easily as you can zero blitz. So that makes it really hard on a quarterback.
Yeah, when you heard Nebraska was a kind of transition to a 3-3-5, I guess, what do you think has made this work so well with the personnel they have? Because I think there are a lot of people like, wow, will this work with the personnel that you guys had on the roster? What's made this transition work so well?
Yeah, I think, number one, I don't know a lot about the 3-3 stack. I know, after watching at least 3 games, sample size, it's really more of just a personnel grouping. I think he's done a great job, Coach White, that is, of being really multiple up front. So they're getting a lot of different looks. And then on the back end, they obviously teach it well enough where guys can play multiple spots, but yet, you see they're very sudden in their assignments. They're tackling well. Usually when a defense is tackling really well, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not out of position. So, it's been an impressive start for them this year.
I think one of the most impressive things, Barrett, when we talked about this earlier, was how many guys they've played so far on defense. 25 guys have seen snaps this year on that defense. What's that say about them coaching it from a coach aspect, but then also being able to take that from the practice field to the game field for those young players that they're playing?
Yeah, and I don't know Coach White's history, but I heard Coach Rule in a couple of press conferences say that that was going to be a deal for them. They were going to play a lot of guys on defense. You and me, Jay, we've typically been used to seeing the fronts play a lot. Mm-hmm. Usually D linemen rotate in and out, but usually the back 7, you might have a little bit of a rotation, but not as much. They've made it a priority to get guys in, on the back end as well. So I think that's going to start at the top. I think Coach Rule wants to play a lot of guys. Probably is great for practice, a little bit more competition in practice. And then, there's naturally going to be injuries throughout the year, and it makes those injuries a little bit less if you got guys that already have some playing time.
I want to go back to what you're talking about. You can drop 8, but at the same time, maybe 6 come, maybe 4 come, maybe 7 come. We saw that this past week. How much of a headache is it for a quarterback to be able to read all that on the fly?
What I've always heard is, with quarterbacks, they don't want to see zeros, they don't want to see max drops.
Yeah.
So if you can do those 2 things and make them look similar, that just starting with those concepts, that makes it a lot harder on the quarterback. But like we started with, if you don't stop the run, all of a sudden it's 2nd and 3.
Right.
You can't get into that stuff nearly as much. So they've kind of done the dirty work to get them in those type situations. And usually that's when, you know, as players and coaches, you can have a little bit more fun when you know they're going to drop back and pass. You can show a lot more looks, and, you know, you can really, you know, kind of go to work trying to confuse the signal caller.
We've seen a lot of guys emerge, but Javin Wright's one that, you know, as of late has really jumped out, overcome a lot of health issues. What's your thoughts on just what he's been able to do and the jump he made this year that he's finally healthy now?
Yeah, I think that's the number one thing with Buddha. I'll call him his nickname.
Yeah, call him Buddha.
Yeah, is that he's healthy. He's playing. I think all the blood clot issues are done now. So he's always had that knack for getting around the ball. You know, he's extremely long. He's like a 6'5", and like his wingspan is probably a 7-foot wingspan. So he's got a big radius. And when he's playing those low zone coverages, and when he's playing man coverage as well, he causes a lot of problems. And it didn't surprise me to see him get his hand on a ball.
Mekhi Bear, what did you see from him when you guys brought him in, and what do you think about him, what he's done so far this season?
Yeah, so Mekhi, he was a really good high school player out of Jersey, and a lot of people forget he had a knee injury I think the semifinal of his senior year. And that's one of the, you know, I guess the hard parts about not being able to be a mid-year guy is he didn't get to come rehab with us. So, you know, he was a little bit behind because his knee wasn't right when he got here. And then, you know, I think after a year or so, he was a little bit behind on the depth chart. But, you know, he's a great kid who really is studious and really works hard. And I was really excited that looks like they've got a pretty good role for him going right now. It looks like he's playing kind of what they call the jack linebacker, where he's down close to the line of scrimmage a lot, but saw him make a great open field tackle versus Colorado, and I'm happy for him because he's one of those guys that when you know him, you really root hard for him. So I'm excited to see him out there.
Real quick, one of the things we heard from Coach after the game on Saturday, he was talking about you guys, about the former coaches and bringing those players in and getting them ready and them having them to be able to go into the system. What'd you think about hearing Coach Rhule praise, you know, Bush and Chinander and yourself?
Well, it was nice of him, number one. I mean, he didn't have to do that, but I definitely appreciated it. But I think it's also a real testament to those guys on the staff now, because one of the hardest things to do as a player, I always thought, was once you learn some techniques and you have some success with that, it's hard when maybe a new coach comes in and they're teaching you something new, something different. But obviously with the way they're playing, they've embraced it, so it means it's being taught really well. So I think it's another testament to, you know, what they're doing, especially on that side of the ball, just teaching how they want to play defense. I think it's been really good transitioning.
Has it been harder being a player or a coach?
Oh, it's way harder being a player. Are you kidding me? No, I'm sorry.
Coach, right.
Yeah, not a player.
Because you have the control that you'd like to have on the field, right?
You don't sleep at night when you're a coach. When you're a player, you just, what's the game plan? Okay, great, let's go play. You know, yeah, coach is way harder. Shoot, being a fan's not that easy either.
No, it isn't.
On the couch, you get nervous.
Right.
But yeah, no, being a coach is by far the most stressful.
What are the challenges for Nebraska now in the Big Ten? I mean, as this league grows to 18 teams, and you're seeing what Oregon and Washington are doing now in USC, as this program moves forward to the next phase of the Big Ten, and when you look at this thing, I mean, how hard is it going to be for all these teams in this league to win at a high level?
I mean, I always thought the Big Ten, it was almost like playing the NFL, because if you look at the spreads, it seems like it's 3-7 every week, and those are the kind of games you got to get really comfortable playing in, and it's not going to change with the additions of those teams coming from the West, because USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon, is that the other one coming in there? I mean, that's the elite of the Pac-12 coming into this league. So it's going to be at a premium. I mean, every single week it's, whatever you need to do to win the game. There's no more style points anymore. It's whatever you have to do to win a game. And it's going to be the exact same product that you see on Sunday, I think.
As the player in the NFL, you had to defend some pretty good tight ends. You saw a lot of good ones in the Big Ten. Can you kind of tell us about Thomas Fidone, what you see of him in terms of potential?
Yeah, another guy who I'm excited that he's just healthy. It's unfortunate when guys come in and you get that injury bug right off the bat. And he had 2 knee injuries, but now I think he's just about come out of that. And especially this last game, to see him catch one in the end zone. We got to work on his celebration a little bit. I think that's been documented. Don't shush the home crowd, but no, he looks good. And the biggest thing with Thomas is he has a great desire. He really wants to be a good player, and he puts the time in. Seeing him out there in the field, it makes me extremely happy, because I know what he's kind of battled back from the last couple of years.
Barrett, a lot has been made with Heinrich Haarberg, Jeff Sims, but the amount of runs they've utilized them in the run game. And I always said, when you're not as good as up front, you kind of got to use the QB in the run game with the +1.
Yeah.
And just explain that from a defensive side, where it's, if you're essentially you have a free hitter, right? If it's 10 on 11, you have that free hitter. But the stress a mobile quarterback in a run game puts on a defense.
Sure, yeah. I mean, just like you said, the math, it goes from being 10 versus 11 versus to 11 11.
Right.
And for example, if you're playing a single high defense, it might be cover 3, it might be cover 1. The post safety can't just run to the post anymore. He's got to be part of the run game. So when you can run that quarterback, it's kind of the ultimate, because even if you don't always run him, with the threat of him being able to run, somebody's got to have him accounted for. Whether it's your 2 high defense, those safeties being tied in, everybody slows down, and hopefully, if you keep doing it enough, that's what tightens everything down. That's where you get shots behind you as well.
What kind of jump have you seen from Haarberg? I mean, you saw him in 21 and 22. Obviously, he was really raw, coming from Class C1, or Kearney Catholic. What have you seen from him here this year?
I think the biggest thing is he just got to finally kind of play in some real action. I think I loved their opening drive sequence. The best thing for him to do early on was to get hit. I think a lot of quarterbacks, I remember Andrew Luck talking about it one time. He said, I love getting hit early because it wakes me up, it gets me going. So they ran him early, which I thought was smart. And when he had a chance to throw the ball, he was pretty good. I think he had one that he would like to get back, where I think didn't see an underneath hook drop or trying to force it into his buddy Thomas. But overall, he was pretty safe with the ball, and I thought it was a good start for him. First time kind of under the lights.
Do you think you shouldn't lose your job because of injury? I mean, I know sometimes the other person comes in and plays well enough. Maybe that's the only decision you can make, but that's a lot of coaches have that as a rule.
I don't think that's a rule, personally. I think it's whoever gives you the best chance to win a game, you go with that. And kind of like what Jay mentioned, when you run the quarterback a lot, sometimes those guys get dinged up too. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing a couple of quarterbacks if they're both similar skill sets too. Steve Spurrier used to rotate them in and just bring the play in that way. So, I think there's a lot of options with the guy going forward.
I wanted to get your thoughts on what's going on at Colorado with Deion Sanders, and bringing in almost 70 new players to a team, the way they did it.
It's incredible.
How surprised are you with what they've done these first 3 weeks and the TV ratings? I mean, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm like everybody else. Nobody thought that was going to happen year one. But the guy, he's kind of changing college football. I mean, it's not going to be the same after this year. I mean, I think everybody's, number one, everybody's patience is gone a little bit down. They see what he's doing up there, changing with that, kind of transfer mentality. But, I also got to give him a lot of credit that, you see Deion, you see the glasses, you see all that stuff, but I think he's been really detailed, really disciplined with his guys, and he's got them playing hard. They play clean football, and I also didn't realize how good of a quarterback his son was, too. That was probably the biggest thing that jumped out to me, is that his son can really play, and he's going to be an NFL quarterback, so that definitely helps when you get the portal started with your own kid.
Yeah, he hadn't lost the game that year, last year at Jackson State. He benched his kid for one of the games because he was late for practice, and they got beat like 38-3.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he must be pretty good.
Yeah.
Talk about when you're on a defense and your defense is playing really well, but the offense is struggling. We were chatting with Jay about that and Damon last week. Is it difficult? I mean, you look over across and you're like, you guys have to pick up the slack a little bit?
I mean, yeah, it's always difficult. Now, is that an excuse? No. But you always feel that. The same way you feel the 10-minute drive or the 8-minute drive the offense has. You get energized from that. And there's no doubt, when your offense is struggling a little bit, you start getting jumpy, you start getting antsy. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's not an excuse. I know for years in Tampa Bay, we called it buck ball, where, you had to find a way to get 17 points because that was our job. If they got 17, we had to win the game. So, there's some frustration at times as a defensive player, but also a lot of pride sets in too, where, hey man, the offense needs us. This is where it's on us to win a game.
Looking now, Louisiana Tech, obviously after this, the Big Ten schedule comes into play. What you've seen Nebraska now from the first 3 games, obviously with this weekend, how do you think it shakes out now? Obviously injuries, we have the running back room is vastly different now, but just the way the Big Ten's looked here in those first 3 weeks it's quite different than what we expected it to be.
Yeah, I think it should give Nebraska some confidence going forward that if they can play clean football, they can be in every game on their schedule. They really can. I know you don't want to jump ahead to Michigan already. They're number 2 in the country, but same deal. If you're really clean with your football, the defense keeps playing at a high level, stopping the run, being timely with their pressures on the quarterback, and I heard the coach saying it on the press conference. They got to find a way to get the ball out a little bit more. Turnovers usually what dictate really close games. If you can turn the ball over and you can take care of the ball, if it's going to be close, usually it's going to go your way.
When you first saw Luke Reimer play, when you guys got him flipped over back to Nebraska, did you think he could be a guy that could maybe end up third all-time tackler? Because he's on the way to maybe getting there.
It shows how good of a recruiter I was. I didn't even offer a guy in my own city that ended up starting for you for 3 years. But no, when he got there as a walk-on, I remember the first drill of two-a-days, I was like, okay, probably better get him a scholarship right now because you could just see it.
Right.
And he just had a natural knack for getting to the football. Some guys, there's always the phrase, Levante David, you hear that all the time, football player.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Luke is too. He just has a knack of, hey, you're not supposed to go there, you're supposed to go here, but he slips a block and makes a play. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him this year and to see him, see what he can do in his last year here in Nebraska.
What about Nick Henrich, too? That's another guy that you really had a relationship with. And, I mean, he looks faster. He's playing. I mean, he had the ankle injury, but you see him really turning it up as well, right?
Yeah, same. With Nick, it's always, if he can stay healthy and stay out there, he just makes such a difference to the entire defense. I kind of compare him to like a great point guard. The comfort level with everybody is better when Nick's on the field because he's such a good field general. He's such a good teammate. He kind of guides guys around, tells guys where to go. I just think he brings a ton to the table from the intangible side of things as well as being able to be really productive and make a ton of plays too. So hopefully that ankle's all gone now and he can roll the rest of the year.
We appreciate it. We hope to see you on the sideline coaching again.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, no, it's fun to be here, guys. I'll be watching this year from the stands like everybody else.
Sounds great. Thanks, Barrett.
Thanks,
we appreciate it. This week's game day photo winner is Barry and Barrett, who share this photo of them watching the game in their sweet garage setup. Thanks for sending it to us, Barry and Barrett. Don't miss out on your chance to send us your best game day photos for chances to win great prizes like these throughout the season. We want to see your game day best, so make sure you send in those photos of your tailgate, inside your stadium, or even your watch party in your home. Let's toss it over to Jay Moore now, who's in the huddle.
All right, let's take a look at those two offensive plays that we talked about earlier in the vote. So this first one is the pop pass to Fidone over the middle that we saw in the second quarter here. So I'm gonna highlight Fidone. The safety kind of gets in a situation where he's not quite sure what to do. He doesn't trust his eyes, doesn't see the field very well, and doesn't feel the play. So I roll this. Nebraska doesn't kind of give a power look, a down polar. Fidone does a good job. The tight end does get pretty good hands on him, is able to slip, get underneath, and really, I'll highlight here, you can see everyone's eyes in the backfield. They're looking, trying to see that mesh point. The safety gets sucked up into that run and that power look. Fidone's able to pop right out here in the middle. A really good throw, a really good catch. As Barrett said, we got to work on that. We got to work on that celebration. Next, let's look at the Haarberg touchdown from later in the game. Now, Nebraska's going to get a little double team here. Center working up to the next level. The defensive end on the end here is going to be put in a tough spot. He's looking at the mesh point. I talk about playing with eyes, good eye discipline. He sees this. Ball handling by Henrich here is really, really good. He puts it in there, puts it in his chest, and then as he commits, boom, he pulls it out. He still thinks he's got it. He kind of gives the oh crap moment. Boom, tries to come out of it. The Marcus Washington does a really good job of running the secondary guy off in man, so that creates more room for Haarberg here. He turns on the jets. Guy had an angle too, and he's able to outrun him. And that was couple good offensive plays there.
Not a bad thing to got a guy who's like 6'4", 6'5", 230 and runs like that.
No.
You don't want to deal with that.
No, that's a tough guy to take down for anybody.
No doubt about that. We'll have more Husker football discussion coming up our way. Next up, Sean Callahan talks recruiting, and then we learn more about the program's nation's leading sellout streak. I know I was going to mess that up, but first, we take a look at more photos from Saturday's game, courtesy of Hurrdat Sports.
And
I thought
the family owns the land. He built the golf course. I played it.
Welcome back to Big Red Wrap-Up. It's time to check in on this week's Sideline Survey. What was your top play from Nebraska's win against Northern Illinois? Right now, still leading. Heinrich Haarberg's 20-yard rushing TD in the fourth quarter, 53%. Fedoni's 16-yard touchdown catch, and Shush, 30%. And Buda Wright's interception and 12-yard return in the fourth quarter gets 17%. With me now, of course, is Sean Callahan to talk some recruiting. Let's talk about Brandon Baker visit.
Yeah, Nebraska hosted one of the top, if not the top, offensive linemen in the nation. Brandon Baker, 5-star, out of Los Angeles, Mater Dei High School.
Ooh, good school.
One of the top programs in the country. The top running back, arguably the top D lineman, and the top O lineman in the nation on one team. Bryce Young's from there, Matt Leinart. So a lot of history. This is Brandon Baker's third visit to Nebraska since March. His mom and dad have been on all 3 trips. He's going to make his announcement Sunday. Nebraska, I think, is in the discussion. Texas probably is considered the leader. I know going into the weekend they were the leader. The question is, how much did this visit impact him as he moves into this decision that he makes on Sunday?
He's a good-looking guy. The size of him on the field when we were down there, he's huge. It's about Caleb Pyfrom, who's over at Omaha Central. I've watched him play a couple times in person. He's an athletic kid. Yeah,
Caleb Pyfrom, Omaha Central, committed to Illinois. He had Minnesota, Nebraska, some other teams on him. His dad, Levon Pyfrom, played for Dana Altman at Creighton years ago. They've lived in Omaha, obviously, his whole life. He's a basketball player. He's been a great player for the Eagles on the court. And I remember seeing him. I'm like, God, who is this guy? He's a sophomore, he's a freshman. He's big. He could run. He had great feet. And now he's added some weight. I mean, you look at him now. He's
a big man.
Way bigger than he was 2 years ago at this point. He's probably 50 pounds plus bigger than he was 2 years ago. And it'll be interesting to see how he develops now moving forward. He's got feet, though. And that's the one thing you can't coach.
He played well against Gretna when I saw him. And he went to Illinois because of the opportunity to play right away. He thinks he can play as a freshman. So let's head to the phones now. Landon Davison, who is a Husker commit for 2024, joining us here on the phone. Landon, how you doing?
I'm doing great tonight.
How's the season gone? We're doing well. How's the season gone so far?
Season's going all right. We're right now 2-2, heading into our next game. We're going against Brighton. It's a 3-1 team, but we're just preparing. We're getting ready, coming together as a team. I'm excited.
Landon, describe your recruiting process with Nebraska. You came to camp. Did you have any idea it was going to lead to what it ended up leading to with you committing to Nebraska?
It kind of surprised me a lot, honestly. But no, heading into camp, I had high hopes. Coach Satterfield came and visited me twice in my high school through my junior season. So I had high hopes going into the camp, and I fell in love with Coach Donnie's coaching style. And the official visit just kind of sold it for me. Just the family feel down there. It was incredible. I felt like I was already a part of the team.
Nebraska's got a lot of players, of course, out of Colorado. What is it about Nebraska, you think, for the Colorado guys that it's such an attractive place?
It's a strong rivalry, I'll be wearing my Nebraska shirts just walking around, and I always hear comments, and not only that, but I walk around wearing a Nebraska shirt, and I just hear "Go Big Red" everywhere I go.
Now, were you at the game in Boulder when Nebraska played at Colorado?
Yeah, I was at the game.
So you wore your Husker gear to that game too?
Yeah.
I'm guessing nobody messed with Landon.
No, it went out at 6'4", 295. It was an amazing atmosphere, wasn't it? And I'm assuming that just the whole idea of the football talk that's happening in Colorado right now is really amped up with what's happening at Boulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen it like this. Everyone's got the flags flying, and everyone's wearing the Prime shirts, and I've never seen Colorado like this.
As we wrap it up with you, Landon, what were your thoughts of the performance? We finally saw Nebraska kind of get over the hump. A lot of things jumped out in that win over Northern Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was awesome. I was watching it with my mom, and as soon as they won, we just started jumping around. It was exciting.
It's awesome. Hey, Landon, we appreciate it. Stay healthy the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it. Thank you as well, Sean. Before we preview this weekend's game against Louisiana Tech, let's learn more about the sellout streak and honor Memorial Stadium's 100th year.
A mecca of college football, Nebraska's Memorial Stadium celebrates its 100th year as home of the Cornhusker football team. Since 1923, fans have made the stadium home during Saturdays each fall. The wonder of experiencing a game inside this venue has become a tradition, passed down to each new generation of Nebraskans.
It's an important place, and we don't have professional football or professional sports on the football level in the state, and I'm talking NFL, and there's some minor league teams around, but like something to compete with that. So that's where people want to be, and you got to continue to make it that way.
Despite a slide in the results on the field, the Huskers continue to boast a NCAA leading sellout streak that dates back to 1962. That season was the first for Hall of Fame coach Bob Devaney.
The game that started the sellout streak, ironically, was the first loss for Bob Devaney. It was the Missouri game, 16-7.
When Bob came here in '62, until Frank Solich left here, we won 82% of our games, which was about 60 more games than anybody else. I think Ohio State was second at 75%. And so we went through a pretty good period of success on the field, and that certainly had to be part of it too. And it really turned around when Bob Devaney came here.
Since then, the Big Red faithful have sold out every game. As the stadium has grown and expanded, more fans have taken part in the tradition.
Husker faithful to just show up week in and week out, and to the point where in my 4 or 5 years I got to know the people, like recognize the people that had the season tickets right behind the bench, or the person that stood at the same corner of the tunnel walk every single week and without fail did not miss, or seeing the young kid when you run off the field that's asking for a pair of gloves or for an armband or something, and to always make sure like you find one of those kids to hand to them because they're the next generation that are going to fill the seats, or they're the next generation that's going to play for the Huskers.
The number of sellouts is expected to hit 400 in 2024, as long as fan interest continues in the Huskers.
What makes Nebraska Nebraska is things like, the sellout streak. It's things like, these traditions that we hold really near and dear. I think the sellout streak is important to our fans. I think it's something that they're really proud of, but I think it's also representative of the fact that they're really proud of our stadium. A lot of people have grown up here, and they've spent a lot of their life here. This place, a lot of their memories have happened in this place, and we're going to do everything we can to preserve that.
It's very important, and one of the distinguishing features of the University of Nebraska athletic program.
For the people of this state, there really is no place like Memorial Stadium on Saturdays, and the sellout streak proves that. And as we're looking at some future games and future sellouts, let's take a glance at the weekend performances of some of the fellow Big Ten teams coming up later in the schedule. You got Michigan, who rolled over Bowling Green, got up to a slow start, but after halftime took care of business. Fighting Illini fell again. Penn State is really good. That defense is really good. And Duke beats Northwestern. I'm not sure Northwestern gets another win this year after getting their one win against UTEP. Louisiana Tech. We mentioned this, we were talking earlier. A lot of speed, a lot of talent, but Smoke Harris, he's the guy, whether it's kickoff return, punt return, catching the ball.
Yeah, they're going to test Nebraska in space. The good thing is they've already been tested by playing Colorado earlier in the year. So I think for Nebraska's defense, can they play fundamental, win the field position game? Because this offense, if you give them field position, they're in good shape. But if they're pinned back deep, we know that's not really a recipe for success right now for Nebraska on offense.
Not sure what's going to happen at quarterback. Hank Bachmeier from Boise got injured in the game. Jack Turner came at the into the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, actually scored 17 points to tie it, and then they lost in overtime, so we're not sure where to get him. I describe their defense as very athletic, but not fundamentally sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
They come after you, but there's a lot of room to do things.
So you're saying some big plays.
Some big plays are possible. They give up a lot of them, yeah.
Some gas yardage. Yeah, it's interesting to see because obviously the strength of their team is our offense, but the strength of our team is our defense.
Right.
And our weakness is our offense, our weakness. So it's going to be a very cool matchup to see how it plays out. Rather, I guess it's not quite like the Northern Illinois game. I think Northern Illinois' defense was okay for the most part, but I think, like you said, if they can take care of the football, like they did against Northern Illinois, there's going to be some opportunities to get some big plays going that we haven't quite seen so far through the first 3 games.
Yeah, special teams will be big because, like, Smoke Harris was on the watch list for the Jet Award. Last couple of years, been really good, one of the best punt and kickoff returns. You got to watch out for him at every time on the field.
Yeah, and it was good to see Buschini come back. I mean, I thought his punt to the 1-yard line helped turn the game. It was a 7-3 game. That punt resulted in points for Nebraska to make it 14-3. So they need that kind of performance again out of Buschini to, get some points out of the kicking game.
Coach, they know they're going to get from the coach. Coach Cumbie was at TCU and, of course, Texas Tech before then. This is a guy who wants to throw it around.
Yeah, he does. You like to spread you out, high tempo. They want to stretch you and try to take the top off. And they're going to test us. They're going to test us early and often. Again, like Barrett talked about earlier, you still got to be able to stop the run. You still got to win on first down, win on second down, force them to third long passing situations, and that's when you can get multiple.
Yeah.
That's when you can start showing 6 or 7 guys line of scrimmage. You can bring them, or you drop back and you sit in 8 and covered and say, okay, pick your poison. What do you want to do? So it's going to be fun to see that whole matchup and that chess game going forward on Saturday.
Sean, one of the number 1 questions last week, and this one comes from Greg in Grand Island. Did Nebraska ever reach out to Deion Sanders to be head coach?
No. I mean,
he was not hiring somebody who had Division I experience, right?
Kevin Kugler said this a couple of weeks ago on the show. Deion's style just would not have worked here at Nebraska. I mean, you can't just wipe out a whole roster of local players here and expect the people in the state to be behind that. I mean, it works in Colorado. It's fine. But that style just would not have been a fit at a place like Nebraska.
It works when you're 1-11.
Sure.
You lost games by 30 points
like
last
high school
year, on
coaches
average.
in Denver aren't furious that a bunch of local area high school players got ran out of Colorado. But here, if you did that with a bunch of in-state kids, it would just, it just wouldn't work.
It would have been a mess.
That's not the Nebraska way. Derek asks on Facebook, you think Bonner as a H-back tight end could serve maybe in a fullback role where he runs the ball some?
Yeah, I think so. It'd be interesting to see this with the running back room, being depleted now. They might utilize the fullback more. You start seeing some I formation, 21, 22 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end, 2 backs, 2 tight end. Start seeing some fullback trap, just something to keep you honest and running some option off of it, like we saw for years and years and years here. But I think that's a good option. I'm interested to see if you see Harburg and Sims on the field at the same time, similar to what you saw against Minnesota on that one play too.
Besides Emmett Johnson and Quentin Ives, who else you might see, you think?
Well, Tevin Lubin is the other guy.
Next guy.
I mean, he's really the only other guy they had in camp, if I'm not mistaken, back in August. So, they had some attrition over the offseason. I mean, that guys that maybe could have come back, but that's Lubin would be your next man in the rotation right now.
A.J. Allen Hurts. What's your burning question?
My burning question is, what is Jeff Sims' role this week? Does he start? If he does start, does he play the whole game? I think Jeff Sims is really my biggest question of the week.
Turnovers on defense. I think they're going to get opportunities. They're going to try to take the top off from the secondary, get 2+ turnovers in this game to set up this offense.
Yeah, it's a simple question. Can you stop Smoke Harris? He's the best player on Louisiana Tech's team. If you can slow him down, you can slow down the whole team. Don't forget to head over to our website and Facebook pages to click on the prediction. Jay, Sean, and I will tell you exactly what to expect on Saturday when Nebraska takes on Louisiana Tech for the 2nd straight week at home. Kickoff for that game is at 2:30 Central on Big Ten Network. Next Tuesday, we'll recap the game right here with Robin Washut from Husker Online. Our thanks to Barrett Ruud, Landon Davidson, and our student volunteers in the call center for joining us tonight. For Jay Moore and Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week right here on Big Red Wrap-Up.